On a deadline to reach the city of Luwuk to extend our Indonesian visas before we could land in deep trouble, we were hoping our previous day's engine problems wouldn't resurface. Little did we know we were going to face totally different challenges and experience our toughest single-day passage ever. We're an Australian couple, Rob and Karen, who worked out before it was too late that life is for living. So we're off sailing the ketch Our Dreamtime, exploring as many of Indonesia's 17,000 islands as we can. Next on our list is Sulawesi, the world's 11th largest island, remote and far from the usual sailing routes. Its coastline boasts golden sand beaches and hundreds of offshore islands for us to discover, along with many diverse cultural groups. Come along on our journey as we make the most of every single day in Series 5, Dreamtime Sulawesi. Good morning! We had another early start today. We're on our way day hopping back to Luwuk. We've got about 40 miles to do today, and we are hoping for a much nicer time than yesterday. Yesterday was a crap day.
It's what dreams are made of, Ron. Living the dream, mate.
It started so well. Everything was going really nicely. We had a good current assist, a little bit of wind, and we looked like we were going to get into the anchorage about an hour and a half ahead of expectations, which would have been very nice. And then we had a little issue with throwing both belts off the front of the engine and having no drive to the water pump or alternator, and everything got very hot. So it took quite a while to get the engine going again in an extremely hot engine room. And just to cap it off, Karen jinked her back and has been in pain ever since. So yesterday was a crap day. Today's going to be better.
It is.
That's the plan.
It is. Positive vibes. Positive.
We've just motored out of the anchorage, got ourselves on course. We've got some shallows off to the starboard, and as soon as we've cleared those, I'm going to turn up into wind and get the main up. The wind is supposed to be from the south, but it's fairly mild, but I think the main is going to give us a little bit of a boost along. You can look at the forecast, all 4 models that we look at. You can put your head out the window and see what it's doing in the anchorage, but until you get outside you really don't know. So I hope that we have just a very quiet, uneventful day, and you don't see much of it today. Not being greedy.
That's what we said yesterday. We actually said, this is not much for a YouTube channel. We're motoring along and look what happened. So let's not jinx.
We took a little bit of footage of calm seas just to say it was an uneventful trip. It ended up eventful. We are sailing along the north coast.
We are sailing. That's important. That's the key word here.
We have the engine off and are sailing, and we have been doing 6, 7 and 8 knots.
We have been.
The wind is starting to ease now.
Yeah.
But we are sailing along the north coast
of central Sulawesi. We've got to go along the north coast, around the end of it, and back along the south coast of central Sulawesi to the city of Luwuk, where we're going to do our visa extension.
About that wind.
Yeah, the wind is just failing us. We're going to have to do something with the sails very soon. We're just coming to a headland, and the wind that's been pushing along us 8 knots is just, it might be a little just lull.
Might be.
Might.
We'll just float along.
We are day hopping our way back to Luwuk. We will be anchoring up tonight, and then we've got about 55 miles to go, but we go into a really strong head current.
Yeah.
So we may get there in the day tomorrow, or we may have to duck in and anchor for the night.
Yeah.
We came around the headland and the wind disappeared. Now 0 knots. Motor's back on. Well, we've got to be thankful for small mercies, and we had a lovely sail there for about an hour and a half. It could have something to do with being in the wind shadow over that big mountain on Sulawesi there. Well, that's what you call a current line. Have a look at that. A tug and barge coming our way was swinging back and forwards battling current, so we tried to radio them to make sure we stayed out of each other's way. Tugboat Buana Express 59, Tugboat Buana Express 59. This is the sailing vessel Our Dreamtime, Our Dreamtime. Tugboat Buana Express 59, Tugboat Buana Express 59. Nothing heard. This is sailing vessel Our Dreamtime, standing by on 16. Out. A bit of zigging and zagging saw us pass close, but safely. Very nice to get anchored up. In the last few hours we were belted with a bow-on swell, up to 20 knots of wind, of course, on the nose. We picked this anchorage from a satellite image. It looked as if there'd be a good sand bottom. Unfortunately it was, but probably about 4 boat lengths out there, it's still 25 metres. So it shelves up fairly quickly. We've dropped anchor in 11 metres and the anchor dug straight in solid. We really gave it a good tug in reverse and it's going nowhere. We've hung back in 16 metres of water, but it was rough out there and there's just a very gentle roll in here. It's a very attractive village, big mosque, and plenty of fishermen out in their dugout canoes, but looking forward to a nice quiet night and upping anchor at 5:30 in the morning to try and get around to Luwuk, because it's around 56 miles and there's going to be wind and swell against us and then current as well. I'm about to get the water maker out and make water because it's nice and clean here, so I'd rather turn this seawater into drinking water than the sometimes smelly water in the harbour at Luwuk. So we'll try and see whether we can get both our water tanks topped up here, because we're going to be in Luwuk for a week or more. Oh, pre-dawn light on the horizon. So we are up very early. We plan on getting the anchor up at 5:30. There will be enough light by then. We're very equatorial, as we've said before, so we don't get much twilight in the evenings or much pre-dawn light. It tends to, there's light on the horizon, and then about 15 minutes later, boom, It's pretty close to daylight. And it has been a beautiful anchorage. There's a lot of swell outside running and still a bit of wind, but in here we had a fantastic night's sleep. So hopefully the current won't knock us around too much, or the wind. We are really aiming to get into our anchorage straight away tonight. That would be very, very nice. We'll get the main up in here while it's nice and quiet. No wind, no waves. And look at that sun popping up. Beautiful. It'd be nice to stay here a few days and explore. We're just looking on the way out and there's a nice looking sea cave that it'd be good to have a wander in over there on the cliffs. We don't have time. Unfortunately, we've pretty much got what we expected. We have 18 knots of apparent on the nose. We have swell with it. It's just a low chop at the moment, but we've also got current against us. So we are at cruising revs where we'd normally do 5.5 knots. We're currently doing 3 to 3.5 knots. So it's going to be a very, very long day today, and unless something changes dramatically, there's no way in the world we'll make it to Luwuk. We'll be heading for our bailout anchorage about 20 miles short. And at this rate, even that is going to be a bit of a race to see if we can get there before sunset. One of the biggest current events we've seen. Unbelievable. There's almost no wind.
And this sea state, it's
like crazy. And we're in over 200 metres of water. And the other side of that current line is just full of, when we say debris, we're not talking plastic bottles, we are talking complete tree trunks. And not one or two.
It's full.
So we have turned west. We're going to try and slog our way away from this effect, and we may have to be going into the night.
Yep. At least that one's bamboo.
Well, we had identified a really well protected looking anchorage up here in the northern end of the bay, and all of the current maps showed that the worst of the current heading west to east was further south. So we came north around the bay thinking that we'll get less current and we can duck in there if we don't think we're going to make Luwuk during the daylight. Well, we've got up to this corner. It is probably the biggest current event I've ever been in. There's no wind and the swell standing up well over 2 metres. We're in 240 metres of water, standing up like crazy. And where the current line hit the bay, it is just full of trees, of floating tree trunks, branches, definitely big enough to do damage to this boat the way we're bouncing. So we have just turned west, given up on that idea. We have 20 nautical miles exactly from here to Luwuk. And I've got the engine on maximum revs at the moment at 3.84 knots. So it's just about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We've got 3 and a bit hours of sunlight left. We won't make it in sunlight. The harbour we've been in before, we've got our track in. We will be following our track exactly, and it's fairly well illuminated once we get in there, so it's just going to be a rough, shitty motor straight into this swelly, and I don't even know why, there's no wind. Anyway, it is what it is. That's what you get when you're the pioneer and go first. Should we tell Lola B they're coming this way tomorrow? Or should we let them find out for themselves? No, I think we'll be on the phone later.
We were down to 2 hours to the waypoint, and we are now 3 hours. This is why we are having shit weather out here. Yep, beep that out, Rob. Absolute shit weather. We can't win. We have had current all day. It's been crap, hey mate.
Current has increased.
Has increased, yes. Yep, we were down to 2 hours in, and now we're 3 hours to the waypoint. Getting us in at nearly 9 o'clock tonight. Shit. Just keep our course. Okay, it's moving from those ferries that are over on that right hand side, you know, the ones on the dock. He's just reversed out now, so he's going to have to go port to port with us anyway, so just keep our line because we went in on the starboard side of the entry. I might turn our light on again. Ow. Where's the light? There, his yellow light just came on to us there. That's him. Yeah, we see you, mate. We're coming into port. Just keep on our line, babe, because it was shallow over to the starboard too, remember? Well, that was one hell of a day. It's actually been one hell of 3 days. I'm glad they're over, and I'm glad that we are anchored in Luwuk. I tell you what, everything was set against us in this. We had some shitty weather out there. We had current against us when we weren't supposed to. We had waves, we had 20 plus knots. It was just terrible. We looked at everything that we possibly could to work out the currents. We decided to come around the point, head north and into the bay where they said that we would have no current. We hit this current line, and at one stage we were doing 1 knot, and Rob had to really put the engine on to try and get us out of this current line. We left at 5:30 this morning. It is 10 to 9. I was going to say 9 o'clock. We have dropped in Luwuk. We dropped in 14 metres. We're sitting in 14.6. And yay, there's another yacht in. We haven't seen another yacht other than Lola B. And it's not Lola B because she's a day behind us. What a day, Rob.
That was one of the hardest single day passages I've ever done.
It was really, really tough, wasn't it? In actual fact, the last 3 days have been tough. So I was just saying, we left at 5:30, up anchored at 5:30, and it's 10 to 9 now. And
Yeah.
The last, I haven't got the other track down here, the other tracks below.
For the last 4 hours, we averaged 3 knots.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable current, wind at like 10-15 degrees. And
20 plus knots.
Yeah.
And waves. I mean, waves like you wouldn't think that could
Sea
build
state
up.
was
Horrid.
But right up until just before the entrance to the harbour, we still had a good 2 knots of current against us.
We did not put the mainsail down until we were 1 nautical mile off our turn into here, because we just had way too much current and way too much sea state to actually put it down.
There's a fair bit of ferry traffic and that sort of thing, so I didn't want to be caught out with a sail when we were into the more confined areas.
No, and as it was, we had a barge and then a ferry.
Yep.
A ferry right when we were coming in the entrance, the tide entrance.
Exactly. As we were coming through the entrance, he decides to back out of his berth and head to wherever.
But he was really good. He put on his spotlight. He knew we were there and just waited till we came through, because it's quite narrow, isn't it?
Once we lit everything up with the
mizzen.
with the mizzen spots.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. End of day. End of a difficult day.
Night, everyone.
Good night.
Bright and early next morning, we were off to the immigration office. Our previous visa extensions in Baobab and Lombok had both taken 5 working days, but here in Luwuk, we were in for a surprise.
Well, we arrived here at the immigration office a little under an hour ago, and we have our passports. Our extension is done. The simplest we've ever seen. Less than 60 minutes, job all over. Incredible.
Yesterday's rough passage had done Karen's back issues no good at all, so some rest and recovery time here in Luwuk's calm harbour for a week or so was now on the agenda. In the next episode, you'll see we did find plenty to occupy our time though. Until then, remember, life is for living, so make the most of every single day. Hey, in real world time, Christmas is almost here, and if you're looking for a unique but slightly salty gift, check out our choice of 2026 photo calendars. One features beautiful Indonesian destinations we have sailed to, and the other is a series of portraits highlighting some of the generous, warm, beautiful people we've met here. Or you might prefer one of our eBooks or screensavers. You can find the link for everything in the episode description or on our Facebook and Instagram.